That's crazy.
It looks like it's right on top of us.
Okay, well, this is definitely a, what is it?
The night sky over Mississauga aglow tonight as a massive fire engulfed a construction site in Streetsville. It's still not clear what started the blaze, what happened during the supper hour. The flames, though, quickly consuming the wood framing of the 4-5-story structure. Good evening, I'm Roger Peterson in Streetsville, and you can see quite a few crews still here, a couple of aerial trucks. Now it's starting to calm down here. They had 2 or 3 aerial trucks soaking the scene here behind me. Not easy to see with the dark sky behind and very little left. The only thing left actually is the stairwell shaft there that was made out of cinder blocks. It is still standing. The rest of the structure, though, gone after this fire broke out, and it started in a hurry. It seemed to go slow, but people who witnessed it said as soon as it got going in a hurry.
God, I hate this.
There were huge flames and there were pops going off and the glass of our building was shaking, and so that started at like 7:20 or something, and then we were just keeping up with it the whole time, and people were like coming into our store. The local cadet building shut down to have people like stay in there if they needed to.
When I went out, it was like still half standing, but by 8 o'clock, it was just a corner left.
That's it.
Of like, it was like 4 or 5 stories tall and about the same length of the other building.
Really?
Gone within like an hour and a half.
And those popping sounds that the witness mentioned, these were apparently propane tanks at the construction site. Now, people stunned at just how fast this thing went up. Fire crews were quick on the scene, but once they determined there was no one in the structure, they went into a defensive mode to fight it. And so they didn't go inside. They simply surrounded the perimeter and secured it and hosed it down from there. Now, what made things difficult for the dozens of firefighters with their 15 trucks was the strong wind. Fire Chief Tim Beckett says it kept his crews and police busy chasing embers that threatened homes downwind.
The wind will play a factor, obviously in the fire building itself, but also with the embers that are blowing around. A number of spot fires throughout the neighborhood, and we've had to have crews respond and brought a few other crews in to make sure spot fires are put out.
Now, the wind direction did work in the crew's favor in one way. There was a retirement home literally right beside where the fire was, but the winds blew the smoke and flames away from the building. Residents were moved away from the side closest to the fire, but they did remain inside. The building was never evacuated. Crews were there monitoring air quality and watching for any changes in wind direction, but thankfully, the residents could stay in the warmth of their building, even though the power was cut to sections of it. As I mentioned off the top, the fire is mostly knocked down, but the crews will be here through the night, keeping an eye on it, making sure there are no flare-ups anywhere. Also, the fire marshal's office is expected to come in the morning to investigate. Still no word on what a cause might be to this, although it's a construction site, so any possibility could happen there. Also, for a while, the rail line here was shut down. CP and GO uses this line. They had fire hoses coming across it, so they had to close that down for delays, but it has since been reopened, and we're expecting the first trains to be coming through here in the next little while. So keep for updates on this, keep to citynews.ca, and of course tomorrow as well at 6.